Welcome to First Star Let's Chat, an athletic therapy podcast. I'm your host, James Gardner, certified athletic therapist, certified strength and conditioning specialist, yoga instructor, human being. This platform, for the pros, by the pros, anybody in the performance space, and beyond. Welcome here to share in the stories of professionals, experiences, journeys, learning along the way. It's a platform to connect, to network, and to be a part of a community that cares, with conversations that matter, experiences that resonate, and generate ideas, thought-provoking, organic dialogue, passionate pros. Brought to you as always by First Star Therapy, MobilityTape, Epic, and Benchmark Athletics. In association with the Canadian Athletic Therapists Association. It's First Star Let's Chat, an athletic therapy podcast. Thanks for being here. Thank you for being a part of it. So I'm James Gardner, certified athletic therapist, certified strength and conditioning specialist.
And I'm Brittany Ann Wright-Blount, certified athletic therapist.
And this is MobilityTape. Have you ever used MobilityTape before? And if so, let's talk about how you might use it.
Yeah, I have quite a bit actually. So I tend to use it mostly for proprioceptive measures, especially with athletes returning to sport post-injury or post-operatively.
MobilityTape is heat activated. It has that option in it. It's kinesiology tape, so it has a lot of stretch to it. It has a lot of give to it. So if we splay it, if we look at a piece of tape, we know that it has a little bit of give, right? So it has some elastic properties to it. So that allows for different things. It can support injuries, certainly. It can provide proprioceptive awareness, kinesthetic awareness, right? Where as soon as it touches the skin, you have feedback, right? So where have you used this in specific injuries? What parts of the body, and how effective have you found it?
So I've used it in AC joints, a lot of wrist and hand injuries, and knee, so like patellar tracking, injuries specifically.
And it's a pretty simple application, right? We understand that there's stretch. We understand that we can take it to 100% stretch where we can get it to full tautness, but we also understand that there's a little bit of give in there as well. So that allows for movement on the skin as well as movement of the joint, right? So if we're working with the knee can still move, the skin can still move, the fascia can still do what it needs to do underneath the surface. So a pretty cool product that way. The heat activated component of MobilityTape allows for that analgesic or pain relieving effect. In your practice or your application, is there some benefit for athletes with that side of things?
I think it's really great, especially when you're looking at like low back injuries or any kind of shoulder injuries and the athlete's complaining about pain. You can apply MobilityTape with the heat activation and allow them to have that on them. They can feel the tape working. It provides the ability for the athlete to say, yes, this feels supportive. I can feel the proprioceptive benefits of it, but it also allows them not to be going to painkillers all the time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, a huge benefit, right? So where we can get some topical relief with a natural product built into the tape, we have less usage, less wear and tear on the liver, kidneys, and all those other things that we need if we're ingesting things. So really cool product that way, definitely. I've used it in the gym. I've used it with athletes on shoulders, on knees, on ankles, just as trial. Like even if there's no injury, how does this feel when you're moving around? You know, that heat component allows you to be maybe a little bit more connected to that area of the body. And so the feedback from athletes that we've used is age-old injuries, 6-month-old injuries that have never quite felt as good as they feel with the tape on. So it's not a cure, but it's certainly an agent of aid where we can help somebody perform that little bit better. So that gives the tagline of the company, right? Like no limitations. So this is what we want to do. We want to provide the ability for athletes to apply something to themselves where they can rely on themselves, but also in the application of a simple product that is ingenious. It has the built-in analgesic, the heating component, and the support and give at the same time. So how about a little bit in football? Where would this application be used?
Yeah, so we do have like a lot of low back chronic issues. We have a lot of ankle chronic issues. Overall, there's a lot of chronic things that happen in football. There's a lot of acute injuries that happen in football. But mainly for like those chronic ones, or the guys that need that support, or proprioceptive input during a game, during a practice, even when they're leaving the practice field at the end of the night and they need something to help them sleep better. You can apply this to what's ailing them. If it's a low back, shoulder, wrist, knee, ankle, whatever we're looking at, even hamstring and quad strains, allow that to be applied. And again, like really trying to step away from having the painkillers and allowing this to be their medium.
We've talked a little bit about application and how simple it is. Obviously the back has a peel and you can get to the corners and peel it off, break it in the middle, create a nice little strip, and then you get to the tape, the adhesive. When you apply the tape, what are some of the things that you look out for, or some of the things that you do? Maybe you want to demo, I'll pass you the scissors and you can show us how you would sort of cut a piece of tape.
Let's say that I'm looking at applying it to someone's quad. I'm gonna take their quad, I'm just gonna measure down with the tape, take an approximate measurement there. I'm gonna cut where I think it's going to be. And then something that we always do, and really this is mainly, so that the corners don't catch on your clothing and stuff. So we're actually going to round the corners after we cut the tape. And again, this is just to ensure that the tape actually stays on your skin longer. And so that is what it would look like.
Yeah, beautiful. So the rounding of edges we do on a regular basis with tape. Obviously with this product, when you lay it down, you don't want it getting caught on uniform or your hand coming by it and knocking it off, and plenty of options. So we can take any piece of tape, round the edges. We can add an extra piece of tape if we need to, as we've demonstrated through some of the tape jobs that you can do at home. We call that an anchoring effect, where you lay down a piece of tape, you lay down another one, so that acts as an anchor, top and bottom, that just holds the tape down. You can also splay the tape into various angles, various degrees, so if you need to get in or around a bony surface, or a contour of a knee joint, then you just splay the tape a little bit and it can contour a little bit better than it would if it was just one big piece. So that's just a different way to look at it. Lots of different applications, any point in the body. Again, just coming back around to sort of the purpose of the tape is not to heal injury, but it's to help injury along so that we can continue in our processes, on the gym floor, training on the sidelines, or training off field, dry land training. Shower with this product, it'll come off, eventually, but long lasting effects from the analgesic as well as the adhesive. So we don't need to rely on any of the chemical sprays or anything like that prior to. The one warning maybe for males is just that hair in that area, as with any tape job. You may want to advise a trim or a shave, or anybody for that matter, anybody with any hair anywhere. If the tape's going to be applied regularly, there's obviously going to be a bit of discomfort when you peel it off and you take the hair or the hair follicle out of the skin. Yeah. So trimming or just clearing the area for a tape job that's going to be there on a regular basis is advisable. But like I said, we've applied this to shoulders, to injuries, to non-injuries, and just to see what the effect is. And we've had nothing but glowing reviews to this point. Just be sure when applying mobility tape, if you have any pain that lingers, persistent pain, changing pain, you make sure to check in with a medical practitioner always. All right, awesome. So that's a little intro video to the product, and apologize if the video was a little bit choppy, but the audio seemed clear on this side. That video will be accessible in the future through Jay and MobilityTape. So without further ado, always looking for new and innovative ways to help people live better lives. Jay came upon MobilityTape because there was an opportunity to develop a better delivery system for a traditional application. Menthol, camphor, borneol, lavender, eucalyptus, and rosemary oils have all been used alone or in combination with each other. Kinesiology tape has been a traditional Japanese remedy for aches and pains. Combining these in a delivery vehicle that was easy to use and effective in application was the objective, which spawned mobility therapeutic tape. Many therapists, including Mo Hagan, have commented that the solution was always there at the top of mind of therapists. However, it took mobility tape to bring it to market. Jay is passionate about getting people moving because, as in the words of a Canadian athletic legend, Clara Hughes, movement releases endorphins, which is the body's way of creating a high. Naturally, the Mobility Tape motto is live life with motion. Jay Noronha, how are you, man? Good to have you
I'm
on.
I'm great. I'm great, James. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, thanks for being here. And Britt's here as well, who was in the video. This is it. This is Mobility Tape. And the objective of this evening was to answer any questions or just showcase a product that we feel very strongly about moving into the training paradigm and the therapy paradigm as well. As mentioned in the video, I'm using this on a regular basis, both on patients, on athletes who are not suffering from injuries, and then myself as sort of a guidance through various nicks, knacks, all these other things that are going on as we navigate time on the computer. So one recent area that I found is this support for tension and sort of what we're calling cell phone neck or computer neck. Jay, I know you've had lots of anecdotes from people who are using your product, and as a practitioner of nearing 15 years myself, I think this is something that not a lot of people know about yet, but when they do, the thirst or the appetite is there for this. So a little bit of a rundown maybe from you in terms of some of the feedback you've had from people and just messaging to anybody who is considering using it.
Thanks, James. Thanks for having me on, and Brittany, thanks for being here. You two were amazing in the video, and my undying gratitude for your contribution. Some of the feedback that I get, starting with the most common one, is why have I not heard of this? Why as a therapist have I not heard of this? Why as a consumer have I not heard of this? And the reality is there's just so much noise out there, in the marketing space, that it's hard to break through that clutter and provide that signal out there. So, we've taken the approach that we need ambassadors like you and Brett to stand up and share your experience with the product. First, obviously review the product yourselves, and then, share your experience with others so that they get that authentic review from, qualified therapists that this is something that's uniquely different. But when people try it, the instantaneous response that we get is, wow, I can't believe that the pain has gone away. The inflammation has gone away. I forgot that I had a shoulder injury or a shoulder, problem, or a knee problem. A lady from Queens sent me a picture of her knee, which she had knee reconstructive surgery 3 years ago and has never not had pain after that. And she, for the first time had this tape applied a few weeks ago. And within 6 hours, she said she was doing things that she hadn't done for years. And she was just amazed. And so, hearing that continues to reinforce our ethos that this is a unique product, that bringing this to market was the right thing to do, and that getting it out there into the hands of therapists and out into the broader community directly is what our mission is. We want people to live life with motion. We want people to have that opportunity to release those endorphins that are created when activity within the body is generated. And when you're in pain, when you have inflammation of any sort, whether it's repetitive strain injury, whether it's, menstrual cramps, whether it's headaches, whether it's back aches, knee aches, elbows, shoulders, that prevents people from wanting to get up. It is very much an inhibitor. And if we can do our part to remove that, we hope that people will get up. We hope that people will feel good, and we hope that they'll live life with motion.
Absolutely. And I think, as you said, it's sort of been top of mind for people, but it just never came to fruition. And so this is a product that lasts a long time, right? It stays on the skin, and the analgesic effects has a long lasting analgesic effect. So in a world where we're constantly looking for quick fixes and, something to get me over the edge and these other things, here's a product that actually lasts, right? So you roll a tape, you put it on, and just talk maybe a little bit of some of the specifics, Jay, the hours in terms of the analgesic and the long lasting adhesive component. And then if we have any questions, we'll get to those after that.
I would love to. Thanks for the question. When we were developing this product, we had a trade-off between the duration of analgesic performance and the adhesive quality, because the analgesics are oil-based. They're natural, but they're oil-based. And so when you combine them with glue, with an adhesive, there's obviously a trade-off that takes place. So what we settled on was approximately 60 hours of continuous relief from the analgesics and approximately 120 hours of continuous adhesion without breakdown. So the traditional kinesiology tape applications that most people see will be provided by MobilityTape for up to 120 hours. Potentially longer if you want to push it, but we encourage people after 120 hours to remove the tape, allow the skin to breathe, wash it, dry it out, and if necessary, reapply it, give it 6, 8, 10, 12 hours, then reapply the tape again. But the analgesics will last for up to 60 hours, which is approximately 2.5 days. That is an amazing, duration of time to be able to have continuous warming, soothing, pain relief, inflammation relief. Now, how do we do that? Well, we mix the analgesics directly with the glue. We apply the glue to the back of the tape. And so when the tape is applied to the skin, it's naturally activated. And what it does is it induces a sense of cooling in the nervous system, which causes the body to respond by opening the blood vessels in that area, filling the area with blood. And what most people feel is the friction that's being created by the increase in movement of blood. So the heat is not actually created by the tape. The heat is not created by the agents in the tape. The agents in the tape actually create a cooling effect. But most people feel the secondary effect, which is the increased blood flow to the area. Now, we can talk more about what the benefits of increased blood flow are, but I think I would defer that to you and Brittany to talk about, from a physiological perspective, increasing blood flow to an area, what that does and what the benefits of that are.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And so acute, subacute, chronic, there are no contraindications to using this product when it comes to that, right? We want an inflammatory response, regardless of what icing says it does or what any other product says it does. The inflammatory response is a natural occurrence when injury takes place in the body. So we want to encourage that. And we want to obviously minimize secondary complications through, excessive swelling and all these other things. So that's where the tape component, any piece of tape we put on an area, but here you have this natural analgesic, not just any analgesic, not just something that's chemically made, but you've also achieved a natural health product through the government of Canada, correct?
That's correct, yes. We are the only kinesiology tape product in the world to be reviewed by a government agency and granted a natural health product license.
Amazing. So if there's not enough reason to try it, there's another one, right? A natural product that adheres well and gives all the relief in any scenario. That's enough for any therapist, any athlete to want to try this product. So Jay is at MobilityTape on Instagram. You can find him on the internet, obviously through his website. Reviews are up. Our reviews are up. I am always available to discuss the product should anybody want to. Brittany as well. My handle at firststar.therapy on Instagram, always readily available there and happy to chat on the product. If there's any questions from the audience in terms of specifics, anybody who's here live, please feel free to type those in or just unmute and we can go at it that way. Otherwise, we'll wrap this thing up as a very basic intro. But if you're listening to this and you want to try the product, again, it's Jay Noronha, the founder of MobilityTape. Plenty of ambassadors, athletes, practitioners from all walks of life and all areas. So reach out again at MobilityTape on Instagram. DM, you can reach him there and just find a way to this product, because if you haven't yet, you certainly will want to in your practice. Again, we're using it on a regular basis with high-end athletes who we have the opportunity to work with, high-functioning athletes, and away we go. So this is it. There are some other things that maybe we want to talk about in terms of training and how to use the tape, Jay. So where do you go with that? You have training videos. I know Brittany and I, through our connection with you, have walked through some of the uses and how to apply. Maybe just give us a general rundown on that. And then Britt, if you want to talk about the application of the tape as well.
Sure. Brittany, do you want to go first or should I go first?
Sure, I can go. So just general application, you want to make sure that the skin that you're applying it to is clean and, if possible, hair-free, just so that the adhesion with the glue and the tape to the skin, it's going to last longer. When you're measuring it out, as stated in the video, you're going to take whatever whether it's your wrist, your quad, whatever you're looking at to tape, just kind of measure it out, cut it, round those edges again, and then apply the tape. I don't know.
Anything, Jay? You want to jump in?
Yeah, in terms of talking about training, one of the observations that I make when I talk to a lot of therapists is that they know about taping and they maybe had a little bit of exposure to it during their educational process, but they're not really 100% comfortable with its application and when to use it and how to use it. And really and truthfully, it becomes slightly more complicated than it has to be. And so what we did was we have been working on coming out with some online training tools to help therapists of all stripes get more comfortable with using the product and get more comfortable with using the tape. That being said, really and truthfully, one of the easiest ways to get more comfortable with using it is, as Mo Hagan says, just do it. As Nike says, just do it. You try it. If it doesn't work, you can remove it. You can reapply it. You can try it on yourself. You can try it on your partner. You can try it on your family. You can move out from there to your patients. Get their feedback. Did they like it? Did they not like it? You can ask questions. You can reach out to me directly. You can reach out to James. You can reach out to Brittany. Ask questions about how to use it. But more than anything, if people are interested, if they drop us a note at info@mobilitytape.com, we can send them information on the training videos that are going to be coming up in February. And from February forward, on a monthly basis, we're going to be running synchronous and asynchronous learning opportunities for therapists to learn how to use the product and to get more comfortable with it. Because bringing this product to their tool belt, to the different applications that they have to deal with client complaints, is going to be huge. It's going to, it's going to change the way their practice goes. We have one therapist on, one of our videos who, and I'll quote Steve Connor when he says, when you start using it, it's going to take off in your clinic because people are going to like it. A therapist, the head therapist at Guelph University, said to me, he was so surprised to have their varsity athletes coming in asking for the product by name. He said, nobody ever does that. They just come in and say, I have an ache. But the reality is that when they get comfortable with using the product and they start using it on their clients, there really is an uptake in demand. And there's a real uptake in client satisfaction with the procedures that are done. So training is a real big hurdle because I think there's a knowledge gap that exists for a lot of therapists out there. And with that knowledge gap, a comfort gap. So we're hoping to bridge that. And anybody who wants to participate, reach out and let us know.
Absolutely. And as far as training goes and usage and the whole just doing it and just trying it, it's essentially two separate products that have become one. So if you use balm, just use it like a balm, put it on and see what it does. If you use tape, use it like tape and see what it does because it's doing both. So it can be supportive in nature in terms of how much stretch or how much tautness you use or don't use. And then it can be the balm component, the analgesic component, right? So knowing your origins, insertions, knowing where and when tape should be applied. These contraindications and indications are uniform for tape application. Here, you're just utilizing sort of length of muscle or, contours of the body and then go from there. And then as far as feedback goes, I've used it, just used it this past winter with some OHL athletes and a couple NHL athletes and some Hockey Canada and some CFL athletes that we've had the opportunity to work with. And the feedback was always positive. So the one that jumps out to me was there was a 6-month-old sort of AC separation, been 6 months ago, had always kind of been cranky ever since. And we put it on just sort of, all right, let's try this out and just put a simple X on top of his AC joint on his left shoulder. And he came back the next day saying it's been 6 months and I've always felt my shoulder until this is on and now I don't feel it. And so we're now, navigating that a little bit as he moves, hopefully they get a season here and we'll move into sort of discussion as to, usage of that. Other things for turf toe and just simply wrapping a ribbon around a turf toe and creating enough relief that toe can get up into extension for all the sprint work that we're doing in the off season, potentially, like the push-offs and all those kinds of things. Britt, I'll just put this one on your plate to wrap up. Maybe athlete feedback on your side with anybody that you've used it with.
Yeah, it's all been positive. We have, I work mainly with football, and so we have guys that are either in acute phases of injury where we're using it for pain and swelling. And then we have it, there's guys that have chronic low back issues or ankle issues, and we're putting it on either underneath an ankle tape job before they're practicing or before a game. And it's not only supportive, but it's giving these athletes that analgesic effect, again, without having to use any kind of NSAIDs or any of that painkiller stuff. So it's just a really great product overall, and I've never had any negative feedback. The athletes always want it more and more day out, so the more I can supply, the better, which is awesome.
Yeah, and comes in team colors too. So those York Lions will be outfitted, I'm sure, when they get a season in black and red and whatever other colors they're wearing when the next season rolls around. So a great product, a great founder, a great friend and colleague in Jay over at MobilityTape. Again, it's at MobilityTape on Instagram. You can catch him there. This is Sunday night. We usually have our Let's Chat an athletic therapy roundtable on Sunday nights. Due to scheduling, we will go Friday at 2 p.m. in the afternoon with Reg Grant. He'll be on this coming Friday, and then we'll go 2 days later, Sunday, back in the regular slot with Nikos Apostolopoulos, who has created an interesting technique in micro stretching. Jay Noronha, founder, guru of MobilityTape. Thank you for being here, man. Appreciate it. I love this product. I hope everybody else reaches out and tries this. It is a no-brainer when it comes to the performance and treatment space.
Thanks, James. Really appreciate it. And thanks, Brittany, for being here as well tonight.
Thanks.
Thanks again for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being a part of this community. Check us out online, firststartherapy.com. That's FIRSTAR therapy.com. Or email us with feedback, consult@firststartherapy.com, CONSULT@firststartherapy.com, on Instagram @firststar.therapy, and our podcast host @letschat.at. This is First Star Let's Chat, an athletic therapy podcast.